Okay, in this video we are going to begin to explore the integration of other applications on the iPad with iMovie for the iPad. So let's take an example of a lesson where perhaps a teacher wants the student to compare and contrast the text structure of different texts, particularly informational texts. So as a student, I've logged into a front row account where my teacher has assigned me a few articles about different biomes around the world. This particular article is about the Everglades. I've read through the article and I am now comfortable identifying the different text structures that are apparent throughout the paragraphs. So I've taken some time to screenshot different paragraphs, and now I'm going to incorporate these screenshots into an iMovie presentation where I will narrate over top of the iMovie presentation and talk about the different text structures that are obvious within the whole passage. So I can simply access these screenshots by clicking on the photos right here, and these were recently added, or I can click all to access all of the screenshots or videos or images in my camera roll. And I'm going to add these images. Once again, by default they are going to do the Ken Burns effect, so I would like to take that off by clicking off Ken Burns disabled. Now the picture is still and I can record right over top of it with my voice. You might realize that you are going to talk longer than 6 seconds. Of course, I can drag this out to be longer than 6 seconds or as long as I need it to be. Now perhaps I want to add an additional photo because once again I'm comparing text structures of different paragraphs within the same article, or perhaps I'm comparing text structures across two different articles. So I can add my second photo right here, and I can take away this transition or I can keep it. And once I'm ready to record my narration, I'm going to do so by clicking the microphone in the corner. I will hit record. And just as you have seen in previous videos, the recording will continue until I hit stop and either accept, review, or retake the recording. Now, this particular iMovie project will look okay with two different images or screenshots where I'm narrating over top of them and talking about the text structure that is going on in these paragraphs. But let's see if we can take it a step further by adding an additional app. Unfortunately, iMovie on the iPad does not allow you to annotate on the screen, so I'm going to use the Sketch application to open up these particular screenshots, and I am going to highlight or circle some of the key words that indicate the text structure of this particular paragraph. Now, some of the keywords I'm indicating show that this particular paragraph is descriptive, but it is also using a cause and effect type of text structure. Now I can save this new photo, and this will now be sent to my camera roll, and now I can go back to my iMovie project and I can delete this particular screenshot and I can add in my new photo that has been sketched up. Now my recording will make a little bit more sense as I'm talking about the text structure. The viewer will see the exact words that I've highlighted within the Sketch app. Of course, a less involved project that students might complete is simply a fluency read using iMovie and a text they find online. Perhaps we take the screenshot of this text that a student might find on Dogo News about the solar eclipse that recently happened. The student might actually use the Ken Burns effect to scroll through the text or make it seem as if the video is scrolling through the text. We can do this by clicking on the clip and pinch to the starting position where we want to start it at the beginning of the text at the top, and our end position is going to be at the last paragraph. Now, as we record, I would be fluently reading the text and you'll see that it's scrolling nice and slow for me on the screen. If the student likes their recording and is comfortable with it, then of course they can stop and accept it. Another application that integrates quite nicely with iMovie for the iPad is called Sketchbook. Let's take a look at Sketchbook. On Sketchbook, a student could draw an example of a character, perhaps a character from their book, and they could take a screenshot of this particular drawing or simply send it to their camera roll and then import these photos or drawings into their iMovie project and bring them to life with a narration or maybe some filters or transitions. iMovie is essentially a great tool for bringing anything to life with narration, transitions, or filters. Another great use of Sketchbook could simply be for mathematics, where a student uses the particular application to explain how they might solve a specific math problem. They would then take their math work as a screenshot and import it into iMovie and narrate over top of the photo in this project. There are a variety of other applications that can easily be integrated with iMovie. iMovie can essentially be the home base for video editing. As students create or teachers create other projects on other applications, they can always bring them into iMovie, whether it is through a video or through a photo. Students and teachers can turn their finished product into an engaging multimedia presentation.